Again, folks. Yeah, that's better. Much better. How's it going, folks? What up? Hey, JH Carter, how's it going? And to you, Rick Miles, and to you. That is good. Let's see if we can do something about it. Nope, we cannot. Can we increase the size of this? It doesn't look like it. So I got a new monitor, and I thought I'd test it out today with a short stream. And also we can just chat about what's going on at the moment, because there's quite a bit going on. And I thought, you know what? Why not kill two birds in one stone? Ah, there we go. I can zoom in because I am as blind as a bat. All right, there we go. So everyone looking forward to Tuesday, where I completely get ruined with Kong. We're going to be live on Tuesday playing Kong. I can't believe you guys bought that game and are making me suffer. Unbelievable. Hey, Rabbi, how are you, my friend? Yes, I'm from the UK. So I thought we could talk about a few things today. And yeah, it looks like the new Tuesday is Christmas just several days early. How drunk does one have to be to play that? Apparently, I learned a very valuable lesson in not asking chat anything. Because apparently, if you ask chat, do you want me to suffer? The overwhelming response is, yes, we do. Rabbi, I'm doing well, thanks. And you? I got myself a 2 terabyte hard drive for Xbox Series S. Nice. Now I can store the games in every old game. And you're like, yeah, hard drive space is a big issue. Look, there's always another answer. There's always a better answer than the one I got. But you know what? On Friday, we watched a video with a good old friend, DreamcastGuy, about his most disappointing games. Do any of you remember that video? Do any of you remember that video? Because we're going to get right into exposing this fraud, because he is a fraud, right? There's no two ways about this. This guy is a complete fraud. Me too, Rabbi. Me too.
What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, talking today about Starfield because I have now beaten the game and it's kind of
So for those of you that don't realize what just happened there, because some of you may not, if you look over here, the one giant leap is the achievement you get when you actually complete the game. It requires 50 achievement points. In 37 hours, he has gotten 40 achievement points, which means he left the game on in the same place without moving for 37 hours to rack up that time, to fake the time, but didn't quite realize that people were going to look at his gamer score and call him out on it. Ask away, Rebby, ask away. Apparently, Sony updated its terms of service and you are no longer... that's kind of fake news, Peeve. I know a lot of people are running with it, and RTG decided to make a video on it, but it's kind of fake news. That's one of the things I wanted to cover today. Now, I was really close to making a video, but at the same time, it does outline something more important on how Sony's arrogance could go back to 2006. But if you look on the back of every box, if you look on the terms of service all the way back to like PS2, that clause has been there. They just can't enforce it. Hey, Steve, how's it going? It's possible, Rick, but at the same time, no one's going to believe him, right? No one is going to believe him. Not too bad, not too bad. Got a pretty cool video coming out today. Xbox released the official Game Pass app for the Quest. So, for those of you on the Supporter Plus, you'll have got the video already. I think 9:30 or in about half an hour, the video's coming out for everyone else. But yeah, I decided to just do a little showcase of how Game Pass ran on the Oculus Quest, and I just hooked it up to my not today, Tuesday. I've got to save some sanity. Plus, my elbow hurts. I hope it's going to be a good expansion, Rabbi. I mean, everyone hopes it's going to be a good expansion. But yeah, Pete, I mean, I did actually make a video on it, but, you know, I'm going to scrap it. There was a lot of good points I made on there regarding how Sony's arrogance, if unchecked, could do this. I mean, technically what Sony could do and Microsoft could do, right, is every time you plug a disc into your console, that disc could have a unique serial ID, right? That serial ID could then attach itself to, you know, record itself onto your gamer tag. And if you then try to sell that copy of the game over to someone else and they plugged it into their console, that serial ID will now look for that gamer tag. Pending, of course, you've been online with it. Because, you know, you have to go online to record it. So they could technically do that and invalidate all secondhand purchases entirely overnight on anything new going forward from now on. They could technically do that. It's scary on what they can do with DRM, but it's quite possible. You know, in a world where Xbox goes third party, I can see Sony doing that because that's the type of thing that they totally would do. But yeah, this guy's a fraud. And he hasn't even responded to anyone. The 3 games that I tested on the Quest were Redfall, Forza Motorsport, and Starfield. But basically, any game that's on xCloud will work just fine. I just chose those 3 to showcase on the 10-minute video that I made. And it works great. I mean, I was using the Xbox controller, and I was, you know, you can have like a ridiculously huge screen. It's insanely good. Oh, you just finished watching the Quest video? What did you think, Steve? Hey, Wayne's World, Merry Christmas, my dude. It does, Rabbi, it does. I mean, if the expansion comes next year, as long as the story is good, they add enough gameplay stuff to it, and they, you know, add some cool features, maybe new factions, it can be good, but it really depends on just what Bethesda want to do with it. Not on Quest, but I'm playing Rivals of Aether and Project Zomboid. Nice. Microsoft tried that through their DRM and got lambasted. They did, but I think if Sony tried it, their community would be like, "Let's go." They probably changed their return policy because too many people returned their games after they beat it. I mean, considering Spider-Man 2 was actually beaten in 8 hours, unbelievable, by the way. I still to this day do not know how they managed to do that. I mean, if you skip all the cutscenes, maybe. But it's crazy. But thank you for that $5 super chat, Moe de la Gaza. I appreciate it. Dude, you literally dropped a video 9 minutes ago and now I had to pause it to come and see what's going on here. I know, but I wanted to get a short stream out today. I mean, I'm only going to be around for about an hour before I head off. So there's just a few bits I wanted to talk about, but mainly, especially with this guy. Yeah, I mean, it's possible he finished it on PC, but the achievement thing for the mods came out the same day as Starfield launched. It was ready the same day. There's literally no way that he wouldn't have known about it. Not a chance. It's unbelievable. But you know what? If he wants to be a fraud, he can be a fraud. My impersonation is he turned around and said that Quantum Error was going to be amazing and he couldn't wait for it. It was looking so good. He was so excited for it. I think he was more excited for that than he was Starfield. And then he completely lambasted into it and then didn't even feature into his top 10 most disappointing. It's I mean, people are calling him out now like crazy. When did you beat it? How old am I? Date and month? Why do you want to know my birthday? It's a random. It's in November. And I'm 41 years old. Hey, Sergeant Donnan. How's it going? DreamcastGuy has been a fake gamer. I've been telling people he is a fake gamer. I mean, it was crazy. Like, when we watched this video, it was pretty awful. Pretty awful. There's no way he finished it. Dude, I'm, I think, at like 60 hours. Now, that might seem like not a lot, right? But I've got a 9 to 5 job. I've got 4 kids. You know, I'm married. I'm managing 2 YouTube channels. I'm streaming. So when you factor all that in, and the fact that I do need to sleep at some point and maybe eat maybe once a day, 60 hours doesn't sound too bad on one game, does it? Which year you first start YouTube video? The year? Oh, my original channel, Chaos Prime ZYT, started I think in 2017. I think, yeah, somewhere around there. It was with the launch of Destiny 2. So whenever Destiny 2 launched is when I started that channel because I wanted to start covering it before I moved over to Anthem. And then from Anthem, I moved over to, I think it was Outriders, honestly. I think so. Before I moved over to Gacha on that channel. This channel started in June, July, during the ABK trial. So 2023. I've got 200. How dare you sleep? I've got 230 hours into it. The first round. I mean, I still. I mean, I think I've unlocked 2 of the skills in Starfield. Only 2. That should just show you how far behind. I'm just doing bits and bobs, exploring, and just doing side quests. Every time I pick up a side quest, I go check it out. Ever since I actually decided to ignore one side quest and then realized it auto failed, I don't ignore them anymore. Ah, you found me during ABK. Nice. I'm not sure I'd want to post my year in review. It's damning at best. Yeah. Yeah. Mine just stays hidden. I'm at 120 hours in this game, and I'm going to tell you this shit right now. I still haven't beaten it. Oh, I haven't. I suspect I'm not going to beat in a while. I'm around 80 hours in Starfield. Started 3.5, 4 weeks ago, and didn't touch the main story. A lot of people are doing the same. Like my kid, he got access to the ship and then said bye story, and I think he's got like 150 hours on it, and he hasn't done anything in the story. He's just exploring. Yeah, I'll try and put some effort in now that I'm actually on holiday to see what we how far I can go. So what do you think of this? What do you think of this? I think this is no. No. This doesn't work for me. This doesn't work for me. What which one, Chris? I mean Steve? Which one? As a guy, Chris, Starfield could be treated like DLC reboot, just like Cyberpunk DLC did, if Bethesda played their card right. I think they're fine. I think, look, put it this way. If the DLC adds faster than light engines for the ships, you can technically fly from one planet to another, right? That's one of the key things that the new DLC has to do. Add in faster than light engines, and you can travel through one to the other. No problem. Add in a few random battles in between that you might encounter, and that's space travel covered and done, and then they can do everything else. No. Peeve. Everyone wants the left. I don't think anyone wants the right. But apparently that's what the new Lara is going to look like. I like even my wife, right? I showed her this picture, and she turned around and said, "What the fuck? What have they done to her? Do people hate women?" Literally, that was her response. Do people hate women? I'm not even joking. That was her literal response. What the fuck have they done to her? Do people hate women? And you know, I ain't saying that. She's saying that. This is crazy to me. If they go with this approach, Tomb Raider is not going to sell. And apparently, the people that got this designed were from the inclusive department. But yeah, it's I don't like the way it's going. I'm not sure what it's from, to be honest, but that shit needs to be changed back. There is no way that they should keep that as Lara. Even the 2018 Lara is better than this one. A booty. Hey, look. Sergeant Dominant, I know what one you're talking about. You're talking about Nikkei. I'm playing Nikkei. Definitely for the plot. It has a very, very intrinsic plot in that game. Right? We all know that Nikkei has a very good plot. It's pretty deep. And you can get lost in there. Just saying. You should check it out. Mate, trust me, there is acres of plot there. Oh, man. How do you find that Lara image? Let's go back and get it. You can find it like this. There you go. All yours, Leaf Stormblaze. All yours. Oh, there is a lot of plot. Real estate is huge on that game. But yeah, I don't like what they've done here. I don't like it. Like I don't usually speak out on this sort of stuff, but this I think is crossing a line. Lara Croft is iconic for multiple reasons. And she isn't like some goddess that people see her for. She, I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, I did. You should see like my name, and then it should be there. You still don't see it? Hush, Steve. Hush. I mean, if you scroll down, there's a not there. I'm not gonna scroll down. Look, there is a really nice cosplay down here, but I'm definitely not gonna show it on stream. Maybe if I was on Twitch, because apparently you're allowed to show that stuff on Twitch now, but YouTube is a way more restrictive. Yeah, she came from Nikkei. Leaf, I'll post it again. I mean, if they do this on the right, if they start showing this on the right as the new Lara Croft, people are so going to mod that with the one on the left, without a shadow of doubt. This is the one that they want to use in the new Lara Croft game. Yeah, the Series X. I mean, in all honesty, even now, I mean, as they said, the Series X does hit 60. In its current state, it does hit 60, but it drops below 60 as well. So it kind of goes up and down. It kind of has like that Final Fantasy 16 frame rate where it goes up and down. And believe me, for many that will give severe motion sickness. Like that's the biggest reason why I haven't been able to play 16 for long periods, because it gives me motion sickness. And I don't really suffer from that, but the fluctuating game frame rate in Final Fantasy 16 is really bad. I'm guessing at this point, by the time I get around to playing and finishing that game, it's going to be available for PC. But Embracer sold Tomb Raider license to Amazon. Embracer doesn't have it anymore. Void Rat, this on the right was designed by a woman, not by a man. Sergeant Dornan, we've already had a Nier Automata collaboration. A Lara Croft collaboration would actually be pretty damn sweet. I mean, I'm guessing did you pull for Ex Ludmilla? Oh, that itch is bad. Mr. Young, I know a lot of people that won't play this if that's the new Lara. That's pretty much Abby, right? From The Last of Us. That's pretty much Abby. I mean, that just reminds me of Abby from The Last of Us. I mean, Void, all it is women that are insecure about themselves who basically see this perfect form that they can't attain. And so they get jealous and want to degrade the physical form to something that they can relate to. Max LB. My man. Yeah, she didn't want to come home for me. I'm more worried about Fable reboot. What will it take to make them see that ugly and flat female is not gonna sell well? Who knows? There's a lot of this sort of culture going around at the moment where people feel like they have to push ugly or not attractive or just I mean it's look I'm not sure if you guys have heard of a streamer called Tectone. He does a lot of gacha games, and he was reacting to this video about anime girls and how a lot of women find anime girls offensive. And it was a case of like, it's a fantasy game. It's not real life. What is it that you're exactly offended by? That was the point, right? These aren't real people. They're not real life. They're pixels. What are you afraid of? If Tomb Raider was exclusive to PS5, DreamcastGuy would say it's amazing. Oh, he would. Hey, a cute perspective. How's it going, buddy? If this is the new Lara, it is a PS5 exclusive that was on Xbox. It's why I just play Project Zomboid for graphics for character models are just polygons, so it doesn't matter, but even they can look more female than most new games. Yeah. It's projecting their own insecurities when they grumble. It is. That's it. Like I said, like when my wife saw this, she turned around and goes, "What the F did they do to her?" She goes, What was wrong with the one on the left? What is this on the right?" She was like, "Why did they remove anything that made her look like a woman?" I mean, this is coming from another woman, right? Not me. I bet you want to though, JNZ. I know you want to. No way it will be exclusive. Nah, this isn't going to be exclusive to one platform. I mean, there's a saying in my culture, right? And it's a very famous saying that we have in my culture. It goes, "Güzele bakmak sevaptır." And essentially what that means is to look at someone who is beautiful, it's a blessing. And, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? It's a good saying. Larry Croft. Oh. Dakota. That was good. That was good. I like it. I like it. But yeah, folks, in regards to the whole Sony thing, that policy for the resale has been there from the Mega Drive days. For those of you in the US, it's like the Sega Genesis. If you go back, you'll actually find that policy. It's actually quite a standard policy that's been there, but no one's ever enforced it because you can't enforce it. I mean, what are they going to do? Follow you around and see that you sold it to a shop, and then get the FBI to come and break through your door? It's unenforceable, right? So I know a lot of people are talking about it right now and they're trying to clickbait on it. I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon. Just so you know, I'm not going to be really covering it because it is fake news. I mean, if you go to Gamer Sups, they're selling a flavor now called Titty Milk, Taz. You could try going that way. By the way, that isn't a joke. That's actually a legit flavor drink that they're selling. Like, I'm fat, but I don't care that most of the male characters in the video games are not fat like me. I find it weird if Dante. you, could you imagine having like a, every time I think about that Leaf Storm, I think of the movie American Ninja with that fat guy. Pretty much Kung Fu Panda in human form. That's what we need. Yeah, JNZ. That's right. That is right. If anyone buys it, let me know what it tastes like. So apparently there's news about Xbox hitting, you know, in 2026. A lot of people are jumping on this bandwagon saying it's fake news and it's never going to happen. Xbox is going third party and all this and all that. Honestly, the way I'm seeing it right now, I think a 2026 release is highly probable because they need to do something to shake it up because their current consoles aren't selling. They actually did really well during the Black Friday month. They actually matched the Nintendo Switch at around 600,000 units, right? And that's actually really good for Xbox. Obviously, if they actually continued that across Europe and Japan, then they'd actually be in a really good place. But Europe and Japan, they seem to be non existent at the moment. So they kind of need to shake things up a little bit. But they're in a really weird place right now, Xbox. And I honestly don't know how they can actually get around it. But before we get into that, let's just read what it's saying here. Leaker is saying that the next Xbox might release earlier than 2027, also hinting that the all-digital Xbox Series X may have been cancelled. You know that circular console that they had that came out with the leaks during the FTC trial that someone at Microsoft decided to accidentally blunderously leak? Well, apparently that console is no more. And they've decided to scrap that, and it looks like they're going in place of a actual complete next generation console. For those who saw it, I deleted the Grub post because people pointed out that Grub was corroborating the PS5 Pro specs, not these new. Also, Grub generally is wrong as well, so there's that too. 2026 Series X will be 6 years old. That's a year younger than the PS4 and the Xbox One were in 2020. You know what? I think the Xbox One and the PS4 actually outlived their life cycle. But the only reason they stayed was because of COVID. So, yeah, with the pandemic and the smaller leap between generations, this one should be. No, it shouldn't be longer at all. I think these consoles are already out of date. Way out of date. They can't even hit 60 FPS anymore. But we've got this over here. As found by Det on Xbox OT, Phil Spencer did say Elder Scrolls 6 may take 5+ years after Starfield, and documents did indicate next-gen consoles 2028. Now, Kepler, who's a very notorious leaker, he's got good ties with AMD, basically says that Xbox Next is earlier than that. And I tend to believe him, right? And the reason why I tend to believe him is because it kind of makes sense. Now, why does it make sense? Blade is why it makes sense. Blade isn't coming for the Xbox Series X. Blade is coming for Xbox Next, right? It's going to be available on cloud, so you can actually play it through your Series X if you want to, that way. But Blade is going to be on the Xbox Next. And that will land roughly around 2026. 3 years is enough time for them to make that game. I don't think it's just started production. I think it's been in production for at least post-production at least 6 months. I know they're still recruiting. So by the end of 2026, which is when they potentially will launch the console, I think Blade can actually hit that launch deadline and actually release. And I think that's actually the aim here. Yeah, that's understandable, though it is a comedy. Not gonna lie, I see that in a tomb. I'm emptying the mag. Maybe trying a mirror the 360 days. It could be. I mean, the 360 days were really good, right? And this is something that I've actually really missed from consoles, right? During the 360 days, you had all sorts of games coming out from Conquer, platforms, all sorts of experiments were being made. The creativeness of studios was out there. Now, all they do is the same game over and over and if someone tries to get out of that bound of trying something new and instead of following the tried and tested formula, they get ripped apart and then shut down. It's a really nasty business at the moment where people aren't prepared to give anyone a chance that tries something new. Are they going to stick to the Series S and X idea? I really hope not, Leaf Storm, but I think they will. Because the Series S was designed for Japan. And if they want to break into the Japanese market, I think they need to have a cheaper console to try and push that. I think by 2026, we're going to see a bigger shift for Japan. This new lady who's been brought in and running the Japan side of things is gonna really try to push the console. I mean, we've already seen, in my opinion, it was her doing that made Blue Protocol uncensored for Xbox, which has been received with a massive W in Japan. So when that actually releases officially, we may actually see a small influx of consoles being sold over there. I would pay for a Fat Dante DLC. Would love to see. That would actually be quite funny. You could probably mod Fat Dante on PC. Yeah, you can. You can mod anything on PC. They released the 360 early and helped them gain a good percentage in market share. I think they're hoping, but that could backfire, Steve. That could backfire really easily, as we saw with the Dreamcast, right? Sony saw what the hardware for the Dreamcast was, revamped their PS2, released something that basically blew the Dreamcast out of the water, and sent them packing. I mean, it didn't help that it was the easiest console to pirate. A mistake no company's ever going to make. But that console was ruined. A whole lot of ponies will not buy anything except PlayStation brand loyalty. I think once you see Call of Duty coming onto Game Pass day one, I think you're going to see a few people shift over. You will. You'll see a small shift in the market share. Because there are people that only play COD. Right? That is all they play. COD. And they are more than happy to pay £120 a year to get Game Pass Ultimate for the whole year, and then just have that game on there with whatever every year. I think a mid-gen refresh of consoles is a stupid idea. Haven't had my Series X. This is the other thing. The Series X, though it's been around for a while, it's the consoles have been quite hard to get. So people are only just starting to pick up on the generation. But 3 years is a long time. So I think it's okay. I mean, you haven't had it for 2 years yet, so you'll have had it for 1.5 years. So your lifespan when the new one comes out would have been roughly about 4.5, 5 years. I think that's about okay, Void. At the end of the day, if we want to see and keep current with the latest tech with 60 FPS, the consoles need to move forward. To be honest, if Microsoft makes an Xbox graphics card, that would get my interest as long as it offers decent performance. It's possible. I mean, what they can do, right? What they can do is, have you seen those eGPUs, the external graphics cards? If they can add one of those connector ports onto consoles, technically, you could just plug an external graphics card into it that's compatible with the next Xbox, and it becomes modular. The only limiting factor at that point will be the CPU. As long as the CPU is performing well and is capable to hold its own weight, that could work. Chaos, don't lie, it's coming to PS5. Oh, I had so much fun with that. Let's catch up with the chat. So games will get even more demanding for deck rip. They will. I mean, but the Steam Deck is only a 720p machine, right? So at the end of the day, no matter how you look at it when it comes to the Steam Deck, it's still outputting at 720p, not at 2K, 1080p, or at thing. I know the future console, the Steam Deck 2, may be higher, but then it's also going to be a lot more beefier. But right now, the Steam Deck is only outputting at 720p, so it's getting away with it because of the low resolution. I owned a PS5 for 3 months and played it for about a week in that time. I mean, I was actually quite heavily on my PS5. All my friends basically were on PS5, so that's pretty much where I always gamed. And then I got into PC gaming, and honestly, I've not really looked back. PC cross Xbox has just provided me with almost everything I want. There's only a few games that I actually go to PlayStation to play now. So there is a 360 days with a golden age. I know, right? We all need another Splinter Cell. That's what we need. Even the PS3 was decent. The PS3 had some great games. It had some great games. What was that Hideo Kojima game that they had? The robot one. I loved it. Zone of the Enders. That was such a cool game. Golden Age for me was the SNES Mega Drive Genesis days. Those were the good days. When everything was about fun. Metroid was legendary back then. PC is the way to break Japan, to be honest. They primarily play PC? Not necessarily. I don't think so. See, the problem is Microsoft has a big problem right now. It's a huge problem because they've just now released the native app for xCloud for Quest, right? So you can play Xbox on your Quest via Game Pass, on your mobile phone, on your PC. You can play it on the Asus ROG. You can play it on the Steam Deck through cloud. You know, you can play it on your tablets if you really want to. I've seen people playing it inside their Tesla cars through their LCD screens because they side-loaded Game Pass into it. But the only one that matters when it comes to third-party publishers is Xbox. The actual box. They can push PC and cloud all they want. But if those third-party games are not going on the cloud, everything else around the Xbox becomes noise. The only thing that matters is the actual box that's going to be in your household. And if the market share for that starts to dwindle, like it's at what, 2-1 right now with PlayStation, or 3-1 in households, maybe 4-1. Last I heard, it was like something like 7-1. Someone said, but I didn't think it was that bad. That's a big problem that Microsoft now needs to fix, because they've pushed this Play Anywhere so much. It's diluted the market. diluted the reason to own an Xbox. Now, as a publisher right now, if I'm a third-party publisher, I look at Xbox, it's got 22 million consoles sold. Hey, that's actually not too shabby, right? But if that drops down to 10 million consoles sold for the next generation, it may actually cost me more to port the game over to Xbox and then actually supply it physically. I can't even see them providing physicals at that point. So Phil really needs to figure out how he's going to get around this problem, because it is a problem. It's a problem that needs resolving. I just don't know how he's going to do it, because I think he's gone past the point of no return with the whole Play Anywhere. PSVR 2 has games, but it doesn't have any innovation. PSVR 2 hasn't got any games. And by not games, I do mean it. Like, everything on there, 90% of everything on there, I've got on my Quest. And it's cheaper on my Quest. Sure, it may be graphically upgraded on the PSVR 2, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper on the Quest 2. Right? And the few games that they do have that are exclusive isn't enough to warrant the £500 asking price. And there's no first-party games either, outside of Call of the Mountain. They need first-party games, and we haven't seen anything. Need to get Sony to stop money hatting most of the anime games like Gundam, etc. They're money hatting those because of two things. One, they've got good relationships with them, and two, they know that their games will sell on those platforms. And Sony's willing to put the money down to prove it. 100% yes, it could and would lead to both platforms hopping on one another for every few years. Yeah. Good thing I can play on an RTX 4090 with over 200 FPS on Modern Warfare 3. I mean, you can. I think on Xbox it runs at 120. It's good enough. Most people play on their TV, so 120 hertz TVs are pretty much what most people, well, I wouldn't say most, but people aim for in their living room. So anything more than that probably isn't going to be worth it anyway. My PC has been crashing a lot lately, so I use the vacuum cleaner blow function on the Mushroom Cloud. Yeah. You should try cleaning it maybe like once every month. That's what I do. Or get a case that's actually really good at keeping dust out. Like I have the 5000D case. Really good case. I mean, they had the options, JH Cola. They were offered Genshin Impact first. They said no. They were offered a couple of other games and they said no. They just have made some bad choices over time. Even Baldur's Gate, I heard, was offered to them and they said no at the time. I just want to play mainline Final Fantasy games on Xbox again. Yeah, that would be cool. Any people over the years that just eat, breathe, sleep COD. That's how it goes. I hope Microsoft does a upgrade £30 like they're doing currently for COD and keep it on Game Pass also. I think they will. This is a good setup. Think outside the box. Nobody set this arbitrary date of 2020 as a next-gen release. Stop playing by Sony's rules and being boxed in. What do you mean, Mr. 7-Digit? That 2027-28 was set by Microsoft. It was in their leaked documents. That's why people are going by it. This is why you get a PC. You don't get shafted by generations. Yeah. Although I do have a couple of really old PC games that won't install anymore. Sadness. What did DreamcastGuy do now? Well, he said he completed Starfield and he's only got a 40 gamer score. Now, obviously, someone pointed out that it's possible that he used mods at the very beginning without applying the patch to stop your achievements from not triggering, but I would not put it past him to have just left the game running in the background to rack up the hours and then just jump on the bandwagon. See, the problem with Starfield is it's not a game that you can just jump into for an hour here and an hour there. You're not going to achieve anything. Starfield is the type of game where you kind of have to sit down and spend 3-4 hours at a time, minimum, in my opinion, if you want to get a good play session out. So that's been my general thing with it, which is why I've only managed 60 hours over since launch, which I still think is a fairly good number considering everything else I'm doing. But that's how I feel about that. I only got my Series X at the beginning of this year. Devs need to learn to optimize their code. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not so much optimizing their code, Cron. As long as people keep pushing the graphics, the frames are going to drop. If they don't push the graphics, the frames will go up. It's that simple. I would probably just keep the Steam Deck 2 at 800p because it's not bad for me on handheld. Well, the smaller the screen, the more acceptable it is, right? So that's where, these screens are really excelling at, because the smaller the screen, the more acceptable it is. Hey, Josh, how's it going, my dude? Sorry, I'm still kind of just trying to go through chat. Do you think Game Pass will ever come to the Switch? No, I do not. I absolutely do not. I think it could maybe go to Nintendo, but it will never go to PS5. PSVR 2, Money Hats, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Village, which sucks. Well, that's also a Capcom thing, right? They offer the money to Capcom. If Capcom want to take it, then it's on them. No one is forcing Capcom to take that deal. I know Xbox One owners who refuse to upgrade, and eventually all they're going to be able to do is play through the cloud. And as long as they can, that's fine. But this is the problem, right? Jason, Microsoft has created this thing where playing on the Xbox One means that you can play the latest games as long as you're playing through the cloud. And for many people, that will be acceptable. I mean, you can just play through your TV, for God's sake. You don't need the console. And I know that's the future that Microsoft is going for. And we are all going to get there eventually. But it's... I think they blew that trumpet just a tad early. Frame rate is the most important aspect of interactive media. 60 FPS should be standard. It should be, but the more you push the polygons, the more you push the graphics, the less chance of you hitting that 60 there is. Let's see. I do need a new case and new USB ports. Yeah, this 5000D is really nice. There is article even on IGN that say Microsoft reportedly regretted missing out on making Genshin Impact. Yeah, because they were offered it. And they said no because they didn't feel like it would actually be successful. Lol, he just wants clicks. That's what it sounds like to me. It is. I think the next sales report for Series X sales will be good. My brother and nephew got a Series X on the 350. I mean, the 350 sale actually did them wonders. They did really, really good. Really good. But is that price point sustainable? It really depends on the attach rate of software. What does that mean? So consoles are generally sold at a loss, right? But what they look at is the attach rate of how many games you get with the console, and that offsets the loss. If people buy 2 games, it generally offsets the loss, and it's happy days. The console was profitable. If they just buy the console on its own, then they've made a loss. It doesn't matter that they've sold the console. They've still made a net loss. So it's important that people do pick up games with it. Griffin Gaming found out about DCG in his stream this morning and pointed out the 40 game score. Yep. He's a Lions shirt gamer. I mean, I don't know what he tries. I mean, the less I say about the Dreamcast guy, the better. He literally just farms views now. That's all he does. Consoles have always been a loss leader for Microsoft. Moving to profits from subs and software makes good sense. Yeah, that's where the attach rate comes in, Rick. Not bad, Chaos. Can't wait till 2024 so I can play back-to-back ABK games next year. And Bethesda games. No, I say that it's going to be a busy year. It will be. And they've got quite a few games coming out as well. Dreamcast guy lied when he was showing his Xbox achievements so far, and he has been lying all pretty much. Yeah, Xbox needs Genshin if they want to compete in Japan. They need a Genshin-like game, just not Tower Fantasy. Xbox needs Genshin Impact to compete. Yeah, Tower Fantasy is not the game that they want to die on. That game's a mess at the moment. But a game like Xenophon Zero might work. I know there's a lot of mixed reactions to that. But Genshin just seems to be the game that keeps on giving. And Sony's exclusivity hold on it is making sure that no one can invest in that. In an overpowered console. And see, I don't think the console itself is going to sell. Microsoft can release a console that has a 4090 graphics card in it, a 15900 CPU, if that even exists yet, with 128 gigabytes of RAM. And the reality is, it still won't sell. Right? It won't sell, because that's the reality. Why won't it sell? It's quite simple. Because you can play those games for $9.99 a month. My brother, who, doesn't like Xbox at all, doesn't like Xbox at all. He actually is completely like proper anti-Xbox. He has been a Sony fanboy as long as I can remember, since the PS1 days. Ever since he tried Pro Evolution Soccer on there, that was it. He was a PlayStation boy. I showed him Game Pass, and he's got a Samsung TV. Now he's got Samsung. He's got Game Pass on his TV. He's paying his £10 a month. He's feeding Microsoft that money, but he's now playing his kids can play Xbox games without the need to buy a console. But how does that help a publisher who has now lost a potential buyer? Hey, Steve, I hear you want me to play, what is it? Gollum and Quantum Error. That's what the rumor is. Don't talk short about a game unless you have the achievements. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why people crap on a game for the sake of crapping on it. I tell you what, Steve, if you want me to play Quantum Error and Gollum, you can supply me with an Asus ROG and I'll stream it through the Asus ROG. There you go. Boom! That is one that not even you are going to supply with. There is no way that anyone's going to do that. So I win. Sucker! No. I set the bar real high there. There ain't no way that anyone's doing that. So I'm free. That idea came from a friend of mine. He just said, make an unrealistic request and then you'll beat chat. Suck. Mate, I am sure no one is crazy enough. But yeah, by the way, everyone, Tuesday we will be playing through Kong. It was I lost the chat. I tried to move the goalpost. I still lost the chat. So Tuesday over here on this channel, we're going to be streaming Kong. Just so everyone's aware, so we can all watch me suffer and melt and die in pain. Console market is limited. There is no place for organic growth. I think Microsoft strategy is a good one. It is, but it isn't. See, it's a double-edged sword, Michael. Like I said. Okay, Michael, let me ask you this question, right? Let me ask you this question. Assuming you are a third-party... I keep coming back to this because the solution to this is very easy. It's whether Microsoft wants to do it. But let me ask you, as a third-party publisher, would you release your game on a market that has 135 million outlets? Question number 2. Would you release your game on an outlet that's got 50 plus million outlets? And then you come to question number 3. Would you port that game that's now in the hands of 200 million, which is more than enough, by the way, to make your money, to a base of 10 million? Where the attach rate of that will probably be somewhere in the region of about 200,000 to 500,000 at best. Maybe 1 million over a few years, but it's unlikely. Would you do that? That's my question. They're looking for future software and subscription sales. Yep. Xbox Series X at 350 would help Xbox more than a new powerful Xbox. It would, Jason. The price point is insane. Like, I actually was going to buy one at that point for my son, but he wanted the all-digital console that was coming because he doesn't buy physicals at all. He doesn't care for it. He just wants the games on his hard drive so he can just boot them straight away. So we didn't bother with it. But then they apparently have cancelled it, according to this. If you're looking at this, it looks like they've cancelled it. Console will always sell, and cloud gaming is a niche product. Cloud gaming is growing. Cloud gaming is growing at an alarming rate. It's gonna overtake consoles, but not right now. We give it another 10 years or so. Paid for sub and didn't cost them the amount they lose on consoles. Playing Game Pass on his TV is fine. Yep. It is fine. But they're also... Hey, Josh, take it easy, dude. You got a plane to catch for the New York? Nice. Hope you have a nice Christmas, dude. I guess I might have missed him. But hopefully, Josh, you see this and you have a nice time. Can't wait till 2024. I can barely play back to... I started uploading my achievements list recently, but my band profile had 60,000 G points. So right now I'm at 20,000. Nice. Gollum, Quantum Error, and The Walking Dead. It's Destiny. Kong is checked off. Oh, but yeah. Come on, guys. Let's all chip in. Nope. No one. Yes, hey. Wukong is gonna be fun. It's dropped in price by 150 at the moment. Jan sales will be cheaper. Have a good night, Josh Wallace. And I hope you have a good Christmas if I don't see you in chat again. Thanks so much for stopping by. You are neglecting the fact that Xbox has the most outlets out there due to PC and cloud. I'm not neglecting that. I'm not neglecting that. But for a third-party publisher, if they're looking to release their game on Xbox, why should they? If they can just release it on PlayStation, GeForce Now, PC. Xbox is assuming, I'm just giving you a hypothetical number. Let's say when the next Xbox releases, it sells 10 million units. Right now they're at 20 million units, and that could be, accredited to multiple different things, from silicon shortages to whatever. So it's been a weird generation. Everyone can agree with that. But when it comes to the actual hardware selling, that a percentage of that is generally factored into how many copies of the game you're going to sell. Take it easy, Sergeant Dornan, and may Nikkei keep you safe and sound. The Xbox 360 was the developer's favorite console because Microsoft listened to the developers and they wanted to try the same idea with future Xbox consoles. I don't think this Xbox consoles are difficult to develop for. They run on the same kind of development that PC does. They're running on XGDK. So theoretically, that's why porting over to PC is so simple when it comes to Xbox games. They run the same language. There's very little work that's needed to get it to work outside of, of the obvious testing for different specs to maintain performance to an acceptable standard. But something just didn't click. Not having a major title at launch hurt them. That would be funny. Dev mode is sick too. Emulate using actual console hardware. Yep. Dude, like I said, if anyone's seen my new video that I released earlier before going live, I'm actually playing xCloud through my Oculus Quest on a massive screen, and it's insane. It's so good. I had no input latency, no lag, no artifacting, nothing. It just looked and played brilliant. Although they were the Xbox versions. The only thing I need on it now is GeForce Now, and I am set. You know how people are going like, oh, look at me. I've got my PS Portal sitting here and playing. I've got my Oculus Quest strapped to my face, and I can play on a 90-inch screen and not on a poxy 2-inch screen. That's how it's done. Microsoft making moves. But I tell you what would help Xbox. An actual, official Xbox handheld that can run Xbox games natively. I think that would actually help them. I know they've got the Asus ROG Ally and Steam Deck, and they're kind of piggybacking off that a little bit. But if they released one that could actually run native Xbox games, I think that would help them. That would help them a lot. Because even if they sold, I don't know, 10 million units, as opposed to the 30, 40 million of the actual console, it's still the console. It would still count as the console because it's just a handheld version of the console playing the same code. So something like that I think would be good. But the ROG is PC. It's not running Xbox games. It's running PC games that are just on the PC Game Pass portal. Or obviously just standard Steam games. So it's slightly different. It's not running native Xbox games. And that's what you want. PS5 is outselling Xbox, so what if no one buys the first party games or subs? Or that we have no first party games? I mean, we've got... Xbox has first party games coming next year. It's got a lot. But Sony is relying on their third party games a lot. And this is the point I was trying to get to like 40 minutes ago before I got sidetracked. Microsoft needs to money hat third party games that are going to be timed exclusive at the very, least for a year on the Xbox hardware. That's it. And these games need to be like proper big games, like high profile games that can only be played on Xbox. And then people will buy Xbox. I know people are going to turn around and go, no, I'll wait for a year and buy it on this. People don't wait for a year. You might find like 1% of the community that will wait for a year, but the rest will just buy it. And they'll just tell you that they haven't bought it and try and hide the fact that they've played it, but they'll have bought the Xbox to play it. Is this, Brandon, is this the one where you're not allowed to sell games? If it's that one, that's fake news. Yeah, that's actually been a policy for everyone since as early as I can remember, even from the Sega Genesis, Mega Drive days. That policy has been the same. I don't know why it's still there. It's never enforceable, but theoretically they could enforce it one day, but it's not enforceable. To get dev mode on your Xbox Series consoles, I'm not sure if it can be done Xbox One, as I only have Xbox Series. It can't be done on the Xbox One. It doesn't have the software. Samuel, that's exactly the idea. And the thing with that is, it's still an Xbox. So those that don't want to jump into a full-on established console will pick up the handheld console. And so it will increase the amount of people on the Xbox hardware. So when publishers look at it, those numbers are inflated. Press LB, RB, LT, RT. You'll now see dev mode. Appear works the same as if you paid $20, but for it, you don't do it like. Interesting. I did not know that. Xbox has confirmed 25 first and third party games next year, plus ABK and potential ZeniMax leaked titles. Should be a massive year. Yeah, but those third party games need to be exclusive, timed exclusive to the Xbox hardware on their own. Because the first party they can't stop. A good portion of those first party games are going to PlayStation. You know, when you're looking at COD or anything Diablo, Elder Scrolls, Minecraft. And now we're seeing second party games like Dusk of Dawn going to PlayStation as well. These don't, those third party games are appearing, and their first party and second party are appearing on PlayStation consoles, whether it's due to the FTC or not, and the court case. At the end of the day, the reason why is irrelevant. The fact that it is what's important. Then you've got like the first party games that are going to appear on the Xbox console, but they're also going to appear on PC and the cloud. But what won't appear is if there are any third party exclusives that are tied to the console on its own. And getting some big games, like, I don't know, having Hideo Kojima make the next Metal Gear Solid 5, or, I'm talking like big franchise games. Silent Hill 5, for example. Big games that have got a big following. Final Fantasy 17. These sorts of stuff, these sorts of names are the ones that will basically shift consoles. What they need is third-party exclusive games that will shift consoles, because people won't wait a year. They just won't. They have Stalker 2 and Ark 2 exclusive for next year, up to now, third party. See, I don't see Ark as Ark is a good game, right? It's got a following, but it's not a console seller. If you put Ark side by side with Final Fantasy 17, I would put money that Final Fantasy 17 will shift more consoles. Same with Stalker 2. That's the way you've got to kind of brutally look at it. You've got to get all the kind of riff-raff out the way, all the emotional stuff out the way, and just look at it from a business perspective. and look at it from a market share, which one will actually shift more consoles if those two are the only two available? You walk into a shop, you've got Stalker on one side, Final Fantasy 17 on the other. Which one will sell more consoles? And that's generally how you want to look at it. It is really black and white. Wouldn't it be better if Xbox went third party? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Xbox going third party, outside of being PS fanboys' wet dream that they pretty much jerk off to every night, would be the biggest colossal catastrophe the gaming industry could possibly ever encounter. And I think it could honestly destroy the gaming industry. If you give one company too much power, they will destroy the economy when it comes to gaming. Because let's face it, if Microsoft went third party, what stops Sony saying, right, you know that PlayStation Essentials, the borderline one that you pay like £60 for? Yeah. 150 quid, buddy. But what the hell? If you don't like it, don't pay for it. And everyone's going to be like, oh, I'm cancelling my subscription. Bollocks, you're going to cancel your subscription because you want to play. You won't have a choice. There's no competition. People complaining about £70 games now. Those games are going to hit £150. You won't have a choice. Just like we didn't do when the Super Nintendo days were here. People were paying £120, £130 for a game. Back in those days, equivalent to today, that's like £250 a game when you convert the actual inflation price, right? That's how much people were paying back then. Why? Because certain games were exclusive and they didn't really have a choice because cartridges were expensive. You're going to give one company that much power? That's crazy. I genuinely don't understand how anyone could want this. Be it like I see people saying, oh, they want PlayStation to go third party. They're stupid for wanting that. And I'm sorry if that offends some of you in the chat, but that is a really, really dumb thing to want, because one person running the whole of the gaming industry for consoles is a very, very bleak future. Seriously. Microsoft went third party, then ponies would have everything except Nintendo games. I mean, Nintendo's in its own world anyway. I mean, Nintendo just does its own thing. I don't even count Nintendo, because they're so secluded and isolated from Microsoft and Xbox. They're kind of like this third leg that just everyone ignores and they just do what they want. Hey, Mad Cow Tully! How's it going, my dude? Merry Moomers to you too. Man, I haven't seen you in ages. Man, it's been forever, Moo. Forever. I mean, people couldn't pre-order it. People couldn't get PS5s. Like I said, this generation has been weird. But when you've got the PlayStation 3 selling 3 million units in 1 month, that's Final Fantasy isn't trash. You might not like it, but millions love it. And I was using Final Fantasy as an excuse, as an example, by the way. You can put any game there you want. But I do think that Final Fantasy will sell more than Stalker. The best hope for Microsoft is to stop being too nice to the so-called independent gaming. I mean, Microsoft needs to be ruthless. Microsoft needs to just, put the big boy pants on, put the leather gloves on, take out the whip, and just start whipping everyone. They need to be more aggressive in how they approach things. Damn, Diablo, damn. Now, Xbox is not going third party. I know, right? Moo's here. Have to catch up over next weekend, mate. Yeah, for sure, Mad. For sure. We definitely will. I'll contact you through Discord or something. This gen is weird because we were through a flip where the top dog is becoming the. If Microsoft went back to the Baphomet Bill Gates Windows days, they'd shut a lot of. What does that say? They'd shut a lot of. Yeah, they would. I just feel Microsoft are being way too nice at the moment. And that's why the 12 games announced ended up being cut to 6. Well, 5 now. Don't forget. Factions has taken a turn for the worse. Mate, that was legendary. I still remember that. That was awesome. For those of you that don't know the context, we sat down and started playing some Rainbow Six. And we're getting ready, barricading the windows and stuff. So Mad Cow decides that he's going to get ready. And he vaults outside the window from the 3rd floor. There was no saving him. We did look out the window as he was falling down, though. It was a long way down. It was a tragic moment. But hilarious nonetheless. The Xbox platform, including Game Pass, generates a lot of billions for Microsoft, so it's going third. So the going third party makes no freaking sense. I mean, I think they make like what 3-4 billion from it at the moment. There's no way that they're gonna go for. I mean, obviously they could make more, but I just don't see them going third party. And anyway, they're already releasing another console, so them going third party, just that news can just go out the window. Would you buy a PS5 Pro priced at $600? I don't think I would. I've generally not been fond of pro consoles, mainly because the developers just don't really utilize them because they're restricted by the base model, right? So I always feel like, yeah, you're getting a more powerful console, but it's also like they're kind of handicapped because they can't really use the hardware. They can improve the frame rate, but that's about it, really. Oh God. Yeah, this is not new. This is I mean I actually went back and found this information here on their PS3. Then I went back and found it on the PS2. I found it on the Xbox terms of service. So it's there for it's a common terms of service. I don't know why it's there, but it's there. Hey, if you ask my friend, he says that all consoles should abolish and just everything should be on PC. Yeah? What's this? IGN on the phone when receiving Sony notes on how to spin the terms of service news. Oh, Black Viking. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. Yeah. It's just a standard thing that's in there. I don't know why it's in there, but it's there. Well, oh, that's different character. Is that the same? Is that her? Oh, damn. Xbox actually, I saw dozens of gaming news outlets post about Baldur's Gate 3 not coming to Xbox Game Pass, but none of them posted about the success of Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox. And they say that the Xbox tax is not real. Then when Microsoft came out to push at Sony bullying Sega and Nintendo, like, I remember when the Xbox first came out, right? The original OG Xbox. I saw that box and I fell in love with it. I don't know what it was, but when I saw Halo for the first time, something clicked, man. Something clicked. And I've basically been like pro Xbox ever since then. Even when Bill Gates came out with that burger controller, when he said, when we designed this controller, we designed it as if you were holding a burger at McDonald's. That was literally the design philosophy behind it. You had like, and I know people say that the original Xbox was ugly, but I actually loved it. You had the crystal one. You could actually buy cases for it that were just so good. I really loved the original Xbox. I know people constantly talk about the 360, but the original Xbox just did so much good. They were creative, they took risks, they went after third-party publishers for exclusivities, and it did well. Obviously, releasing a console first is going to be a rocky ride, but they learned so much from that. And then they took that to the 360, and they applied everything they learned from the original Xbox to the 360. I mean, except for the way the console was designed, because that whole breathing absolutely made that red ring of death happen. But outside of the red ring of death, the games were great. Like, the amount of hours I used to spend in Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare, then we moved on to number 2. That was such a good game. There were so many good games on the 360 and the original Xbox. And then we kind of went over to the Xbox One, and then Don Matrick happened. And we all know how that really hurt Xbox, which they're still not recovered from, right? This is why they've entered kind of this new direction, because Don Matrick absolutely murdered them. Just like he murdered Stadia, and just like he murdered Nokia, and just like he's murdered everyone else that he actually goes and does business with. At this point, I still think that he has a black book that has a lot of incriminating stuff about people, CEOs, that he just turns around and goes, "Hey, can I have a job?" And they look at his resume and go, "Yeah, maybe not, buddy." And then he goes, "Do you want to have a look at this black book for a second?" They look at the pictures and then they say, "Right, when can you start?" I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But, I'm seeing this from Sony as well. The problem is, the generation that came in during the PS4 kind of only want a certain style of game and it's working. But for those of us that were actually playing games back from the PS1 days, where you had all those crazy random games, right? The really wacky out there games where they were creative. Like what's that game? The one that was released on the PSP. Yours is black-haired white girl that you use the gyro to move it around. I can't remember the name now. Someone in chat must remember it. But either way, developers were more willing to take risks with creative ideas. Now they're not. Now everything is just a one-track kind of focus. This is what sells. This is what we're going to keep on releasing. And the whole creativeness is gone. I mean, just look at Rare. What have they made? They've got such a rich catalog. Outside of Sea of Thieves, what have they made? And if anyone mentions Everwild, I will slap you. What have they made? We're talking about a company that has so many games under its belt, so many IPs, and all they're doing is Sea of Thieves. It's just there's no risk there. There's no ambition to make something that's from the past to bring back. Everything has to be like a remake or a live service, and I think it's working for Sony because their audience want those movie style games, and they're buying them, completing them, and then moving on. They've got no shelf expectancy. They last a couple of days and it's done. But that community is okay with it, and they're willing to pay and buy the console for it. Halo hasn't exactly delivered for a number of years. Infinite, I've heard, is supposed to be pretty decent, but they waiting 6-7 years between each installment, not good enough. They just need to do better. They need to provide more, and they can. This is Microsoft we're talking about. This isn't some small indie company that doesn't have the money. We're talking about a company that can flex a bit of that muscle on the right arm, just a little bit of the bicep right here, just right there, just a little bit flex, and they've spent $70 billion. If they actually decided to go full flex, they can end up buying Square Enix and everyone else in the industry if they really wanted to, pending the regulators actually agree to it. But they just need to start pushing those games that people want, that they've been crying for. Like he hinted that, I know people want Banjo-Kazooie. I hear you. But if development just starts now, we're not going to see that for another, 6 years? Or 5 years? 4 years? Whatever it is. I just think they just need to do more. And they need to just look into single-player games as well. They're very focused on multiplayer. And I get that because multiplayer brings in a lot of money. But people love single-player games too. And I feel that that's a market that they don't heavily cater for. Silback, that is the average person. If you look on Xbox, the average person will buy about 4 games a year. And generally one of them is COD. That is why COD is so popular, because Microsoft has seen that tapping into that multiplayer market is the key to success. You're not going to win awards with it. You're not going to get those Game of the Years. But you know what? Everyone is playing COD for that whole year. And when the new one comes out, they throw the old one away and they buy the new one. And throughout that year, they're buying their battle passes, their season passes, their map packs, operator packs. That money just continuously rolls in. And that is what Microsoft is looking at. And that's great when it comes to financial gain. That's why their services side is so damn profitable, because it just makes so much money. And it's great, but we also want to see some single player games too. I know Blade is coming, probably next console now, but games like Fable, they need to deliver correctly. These are the sorts of games that we also want to see. Like Elder Scrolls is probably going to be next Xbox. I can see Blade and Elder Scrolls being released very close together as a launch. I mean, can you imagine the next Xbox console launching with Blade, Elder Scrolls, Halo exclusive to the console? Could you imagine those three being Xbox exclusive only. Right? No PC, no cloud, no nothing. If those three will not sell the console, nothing will. Right? That's like a superstar lineup. Elder Scrolls 6, Blade, Halo. Add Gears into it as well. Why not? That's like a dream team right there. It won't happen because they've made that commitment where all their games are going to be day one on PC. And so then you go and ask yourself, why should I get it on this when I can get it on this? Right? Like I've got a 3090 in my graphics card, right? I've got a 3090. And my sponsor, who has been very generous to me over the past year and a half, 2 years, has actually been supplying me with like some PC parts. And I thank him very dearly and I appreciate all he's doing for me. But like next year, when the 5 Series graphics cards come out, he donates me the 1 generation graphics card before. So from the full 3090 that I've got in there now, I'll upgrade to a 4090 Ti. Now, will the next Xbox be more powerful than that? That's a big question. And I don't think it will, right? I don't think it will. Not for the price that it's going to sell at. It has to sell around $500 in order to be affordable to the mass people. Especially during, the current climate that we're at, whether it's going to improve or not. $500-600, I think, is the max you can charge for a console. So they will always be behind PC. So for those people that are on the 3090s now, they will still be ahead of the curve come 2 years' time. It's a tricky situation to be the thing. Did he talk about the Dreamcast guy? I did, PS5 Blows. We spoke about how he hasn't played Starfield, but yet said he completed it. J-Stone, take it easy, my dude. I appreciate you turning up. PC is cheaper than console? No way. No. No way. Absolutely not. No way. He said it beat it with a 40 gamer score. I mean, it's like someone said in my chat, it is possible that he played it on PC and he put mods on that broke the achievement, right? He wasn't smart enough to put the mod on that actually re-enables achievements. I can't understand why he wouldn't do that, but maybe that is the case. But I can't imagine he's that stupid not to do that. But all right, so how much is a 3090 graphics card, Bornea? Actually, you know what? Let's have a look. So that's the Founders Edition. So we're looking at £600 for one graphics card, £900 for a used TI. Let's look at the 3080. Basically the price of a console, right? It's the price of a console. It is not cheaper. It's not just a graphics card you've got to buy, right? You've still got to buy the motherboard. You've still got to buy the RAM, the case, the CPU, the fans, the heat, the water cooler. You're not getting all of that for $1,000. And even if you did get it for $1,000, it's still more expensive than a £500 console. It's still more expensive than a £500 console. I went to a 3080. How much lower do you want me to go? How much lower do you want me to go from a 3080? But Zap, that's 500 just for that 7800 XT. What about everything else? You want me to look at 4070s? Okay, I'll look at a 4070. Do they even sell the 4070? They do. Piss off. You're saying 1,700 USD. How is 1,700 cheaper than 500? Dude, make some sense. Unless I'm missing something here, 500 is cheaper than 1,700. It doesn't matter if it's better. What I'm saying is, for the same price as a console, can you build a PC at $500 or £500 of equivalent quality? Yes or no? That's the question. For £500, can you build a PC that is more powerful than a Series X or a PS5? The Xbox will use an AMD chip, probably. Why would I buy $1,000 laptop as well? I'm confused. Why do you need to buy a laptop to use it? You just plug it into your TV. I'm seriously confused. I spent about $3,000 on my PC, but I still prefer console gaming. It's more plug and play and more cash friendly, aka more comfortable. I hope that's a massive selling point for consoles, right? Like my brother, he doesn't like PCs. He works with them every day. It's literally his job. But when it comes to gaming, all he wants is plug and play. So he buys a console. He just wants to be able to press a button, off he goes. He doesn't want to have to deal with anything else. He just wants to know that when he puts that disc in, he doesn't have to fiddle about with anything. Plug and play, off it goes. Happy days. You don't pay for online and get cheaper games. Yeah. But at the same time, no. Because especially with Xbox, if you pay for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you only need to play 2 games and then everything else is free. Your online is free. Your games are free. And then we come back to, but PC can do that as well. Exactly. So that whole segment there is completely void. It's not even worth mentioning. All in one. But people want a gaming machine. They don't want the extra parts. I had this discussion with someone else on Twitter where they were saying you can do so much more with a PC. I'm not buying a car because I want to fly from London to New York. If I want to fly from London to New York, I'll go buy an airplane. I'm buying a car because I want to get from point A to point B. I'm buying a console because I just want to game. I don't want to do everything else around it. But you do bring up a very valid point. One point that I've been actually discussing with a friend of mine that, could be something that Microsoft do not this generation coming, even though it's quite possible that they will potentially do it since they have dev mode now. But I think the following generation, we may start to see this, where they kind of include Windows, but in a split segment of the hard drive. They'll have like 2 hard drives in there. And when they sell you the Xbox, it will be both Xbox and a kind of semi-watered down PC where it can do your just word processing stuff, like Word, your office stuff basically, for Word, Access, Excel, Outlook, that sort of thing. So you could just log in and do like your web browsing and stuff like that as a separate kind of dual boot partition. I've been talking about this for quite some time with my friend. I can see them doing that. And I think that would actually be really, really good for Xbox. If they could actually get that down, I think that would be really good for them. What point am I missing? I'm clearly missing the point. So explain it to me because I actually want to know what your point is. No, I'm not like trying to troll or anything. Genuinely want to know because I'm obviously missing the point you're trying to make, and I kind of want it. I have a Legion 5 laptop, but also a Series S, as I like the convenience of the console alongside the ability to ramp up the experience on my PC when I want. That is perfectly fine. The fact that everyone needs a PC anyway, you can't compare it to a trip. 100% bollocks to that. You don't need a PC. Your smartphones can do almost everything you want these days. You don't need a PC. I know a few people who don't have a PC and have never in their life needed a PC. They've never needed one because their smartphones pretty much does everything they want. They hook up their smartphone to their TV or whatever if they really need to, and they can use their word processing and get it through that way. You don't need a PC. And if you absolutely need a PC, go buy a Chromebook for 200 quid and you're done. If you really want one for word processing, a really cheap Chromebook will serve you better. And at the same time, then you can get like a subscription to GeForce Now and actually run like a $3,000 PC under for your gaming. Pending your internet is capable, of course. But to say that everyone needs a PC, no, that's bollocks. You'll be surprised what Chromebooks can do, Lion. There are so many apps now that you can install through Android that it can pretty much do almost a lot of things. I've had my Chromebook for 2.5 years now, and it runs GeForce Now just fine. It runs all my word processing fine. It runs, my programming tools fine. It's a i5 processor, but it runs fine. And I bought it for like 250 quid. There you go. There's Clark Osborne coming in with that never had a PC and don't want one. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're overestimating the need for a PC. If people just want a console, they will buy something for purpose. I'll give you an example. I was looking for a mobile phone to buy. And I kept on looking at them and looking and looking and looking. And I kept on seeing ones that were shinier and shinier and shinier. Oh, this one could do so much more than this one. And then the next one could do more. And then the next one could do more. And when I finally sat down and said to myself, what is it that I actually want from this device? I ended up getting the Samsung S21 because that one basically catered for everything I needed. Could play a little bit of games, can answer a phone call, and it won't die within like 5 minutes of using. People nowadays, it's nice to have stuff that can do more, but if you don't need it, you end up saving a lot of money. I mean, a $470 PC is not going to outperform a Series X. You kind of need to spend in the region of about 1,000. I mean, I would actually, well, I mean, the 15 Pro is like $2,000. So that's a bad example. There we go. A good old buddy.
What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, talking today about Starfield because I have now beaten the game and it's kind of
Poor guy. Poor guy.
What's up?
Poor guy. I just buy a new GPU and want me to play it again?
Gamers, DreamcastGuy here, talking today about Starfield because I have now beaten the game and it's kind of
It's like 37 hours and 40 gamer score. And it's like the gamer score for this is 50 points alone. You can't make that shit up, man. I think it's more they're limited by the confines of their engine, right? The creative engine. Hey, Jem. So, Naughty Dog are unable to do multiplayer, gas, and single player simultaneously. Well then, I guess Obsidian, 343, PG, Coalition, Rare, Activision, etc. are all better managed, spreading resources across multiple projects. Cancelled with 400 plus devs, 13 devs successfully launched, and with over 10 million players. Has anyone actually played Grounded? Serious question. I'm not shitting on the game because I think this game is so much fucking fun. This is so fun. The amount of times I've left my kids stranded while I've legged it to safety is amazing. The amount of times I've used them as a human shield is, I think I've lost count. It's so good. I remember my youngest kid, he was standing on top of a mushroom. I walked into the room and I was like, what are you doing on top of a mushroom? And he looks down and he pans the camera down and you can see like this giant spider waiting for him down there. And I said, who are you playing with? And he goes, Ram. And I said, where is he? I don't know. We opened the map and he's like legged it halfway across the map. He just left it there. He used him as bait so he could. Oh, yeah. Grounded is good. I like it. The one I really want to play is Lethal Company. Need to play that one day on stream. Get a bunch of us in there and just give it a go. Apparently that game is, I mean, I'm watching my kids play it and for them it's like almost game of the year. It's so much fun. And then they've started now modding the enemies. And so you've got this one that looks like a crab that kind of goes sideways this way, goes sideways this way. And you see it, right? My son's like, put the headphones on. Check, listen to it. Actually, hold on. Let me see if he's actually got it. One sec. Let me see if he's got the clip. Because if he has, I'll play it for you. Because that shit was funny as hell. 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, it's a video, yeah? It's just a small video, but it's one of them. I'll go to my Gpay and my what? My phone. Go drive. Go Google. It's yours or mine? Mine. If you pray folder, just right. Just put CPZ or TCH. What? TCH. Yeah. Yeah. So open that. All right, chat. All right, chat. We got it. We got the video. I just need to download it. Just need to download it. This is funny. Wait. Who sees Bethesda and thinks it's a PS5 exclusive? What did I miss? What did I miss? Chat, what did I miss? Chat, what did I miss? By the way, Steve, did you see how I was victorious? Did you? Oh, you know exactly what I'm on about, but my dude, you know. You know exactly what I was victorious. I have no idea why Lucas would think Blade is coming. But you know what? At the same time, I blame Microsoft for that. I fully blame Microsoft for that. Right? Because of their way of just not being able to deliver on stuff. Their communication sucks. And I do think that FTC has a part to play in this. I do, 100%. But Microsoft's communication has been awful. But at the same time, they can't actually turn around and say, hey guys, by the way, Blade is coming on Xbox Series XX. At that point, they'll have announced their new console, right? So there's that too. So it's a bit weird. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. I need to put the volume down a little bit. Let's where's the audio? Where's the audio? Where's the audio? All right. All right. So tell me this, right, chat? Can you see that little crab there? I'm not sure if you can see my mouse, but it's just to the right of the screen, right next to the hand. So my kids have modded this. This is supposed to be like a survival horror game, right? Where these creatures will absolutely murder you, devour you, crucify your soul. They will destroy every living being within you. And then they modded the voice to do this.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
Where did you go? Can I just...
Leah. Yes. Yes, I'm alive, Felina.
Listen, we can't get to Leah. Look through the door, Lena.
Can you hear the little creature? Can you hear it?
Guys, I'm gonna beat. Okay? Wait, there's
How can you take it seriously? Oh man. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That was brilliant. Oh man. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. I like it. I like it a lot. 10 out of 10 would do again. That little bug guy is a friend. It ended up killing them though. Some friend it was. Hey, Clutch. We should do. We're just talking about doing like a community night sometime. Now that I've got some time off, we can maybe look into adding one of those. I guess maybe on like a Tuesday or something when I'm not playing Kong. At least you guys can't make me play the other two. So I'm safe. I'm safe. 15 million players and content regularly. Where is it? That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this, and then this, and then this.
Not a third-party publisher. We are 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 not a third.
Then stop acting like one. Nah, you are not working on shit. You are not working on shit. Xbox Series. They really do try. So this is going to be multi-platform for a good while. This one here is going to be multi-platform. This is going to be on Xbox and PC, not on PlayStation at least. Doom is I wonder if that's going to be on PlayStation. It'll be on Xbox and PC, but it'll be interesting to see if that's going to be on PlayStation. Hey, thank you very much for that follow. Did you ask a question? I must have missed it, Jonathan. Let me have a look. Oh, you did. I have a question. Amazing Lucas has videos of himself playing Spider-Man or God of War on his channel, but people claim he is not a gamer. So if he's not a gamer, then oh. Hey, we got a new subscriber, Woozy Polar. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, dude. If he's not a gamer, then was Lucas? I mean, the term "you are not a gamer" is silly. A gamer is someone that just plays video games. The notion that you have to spend 5,000 hours a year playing games in order to be considered a gamer is silly. You might be, more hardcore gamer, but a gamer is just a gamer. If he's playing video games, then he's a gamer. That's my view. If he's playing Spider-Man and what was the other one? Or God of War, then that's fine. I would classify him as a gamer. He might be a casual gamer, but still a gamer. I have gone from a full-time gamer to more casual. I put it in terms of time, since if I'm not in WoW, I mean, I spent the better part of my college years playing one game and one game only. And I had playtime of, in the 7 years that I played it, my playtime hit over 1 year. How many hours is that? How many hours is that? 365 times 24. And I think it was like another 3 months. So we're looking about roughly 10,000 hours I spent over 7 years on just one game. And that was a game called Final Fantasy XI. It was an MMO. That's the only game I played for a long time. I was so hooked onto that MMO, it was crazy. Does that mean I'm not a gamer because I only played one game? And look, Quantum Error, I've secured myself in not playing that. Kong will be Tuesday. Unfortunately, I fucked up on that one. I underestimated how much you guys actually do not like me. So. Yeah. And I said, I'll play it on an Asus ROG I don't have. So you'll need to supply me one in order for me to hook it up and play it off that. You see? They ain't stupid. Clark, I've played an 8-bit. I've played the Commodore 64, the Atari 2600, the Atari ST, the Atari Amiga, the Amstrad. I'm sure you remember the Atari Lynx. Is that gamer enough? I didn't have a ColecoVision. I don't think I was alive back then. But my first ever foray into gaming was, I think, either the Commodore 64 or the Atari 2600. Yeah. Amiga was awesome. Waiting for your Spectrum next? Nice. Some people really like it, Jem. Some people really like it. They find it immersive. It does kill battery life. It absolutely does. But some people absolutely love it and swear by it. What the Loads of people wanting that Banjo-Kazooie game. It actually wasn't people's game of the year. You know what was? Baldur's Gate 3. Do you know what else Spider-Man wasn't? Even a nomination within IGN's top 6 for game of the year. It didn't even feature in its top 5 runner-up. So that cope is real. See, this is what a true game is. Vampire Survivors. I played Super Lucky Tail. I liked it. I actually bought it for my kid, to be fair. And I ended up sitting down playing it with him. But I thought that was a good game. I've heard so many bad things about this. I don't think I can take what he's saying here seriously. I don't think I can take what he's saying here. I've heard so much bad about Skull and Bones. Hey, there's a Doom figurine. The Bethesda. What is Bethesda? Oh, it's 30% off too. Might have to look into this and pick one up. All right, now we're getting into the not censored women. Well, they are censored, but what game made you feel like this after you finished it? For me, it was Forspoken, because I knew there wasn't going to be a sequel and it didn't finish. You see, all of this that's happening right now, everyone's jumping on the bandwagon of this 7.1. They're going to look so stupid when they realize that this has been like a standard thing for years. Wait, there was 2 of them? I only played the latest one that was released, which I guess is the remaster. I do need to go back and replay Alan Wake 2. Because apparently now there's a new ending, a new secret ending. So with the new game plus, I need to go back and 100% it now. Oh, what's he talking about? Whoa. The gaming community is starting to see PS for what it is this generation. PS is trash. Former shell of itself.
What the heck is going on at Sony? Like, if you don't know, now you know. Naughty Dog cancels The Last of Us Online. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Why? Man, it makes you think, bro. 4 years, over 4 years, we've been waiting on Factions 2. This game was supposed to be massive. It was supposed to be ambitious. New characters, new story, man, I'm so freaking mad. I can't be the only one that's pissed off about this.
I actually agree with him here, right? I actually agree with him. Because this version of The Last of Us was supposed to... Hey, have a good night, Lion. Thanks for stopping by, my dude. I appreciate it. I actually agree with him with this, because this was supposed to be another take, kind of like an alternate time, like area... Well, not alternate, but a different area to where the original took place, and just show the difficulties that other people were going through when this actually took place. It was basically going to follow a different crew entirely from a different state. So this was going to actually be completely different to Joel and Ellie's story and whatnot. It was just going to be, because their story was about finding the cure and bringing it to the hospital, getting that cure, you know, mass produced so they could provide it to everyone else, and then things went shit, and then it was turned into a revenge saga. The other side of things is basically what happens when society collapses. So this was actually, you know, something that I personally, like him, was actually looking forward to, because it would have been a really cool take to see how they would have, you know, attacked this from a different angle. But to see PlayStation fans now saying, oh, we're much happier for them to go down a single player route. It was going to be a single player-ish game. It was going to have a, you know, what you would expect from Naughty Dog in terms of its story, just with multiplayer added on. I owned some, I rented some, and played some with my friends' consoles. I did own Atari 2650-200. Yep. ColecoVision I didn't own. I think that was before my time. Commodore 64 I did. Technicolor I didn't. I was thinking Sony has their PR on such a tight lock that they didn't even let in some Sony cancelled Last of Us 2 factions. Yeah, it was
Man,
how's it going, Susanna?
it sucks. It's so much fraudulent crap happening right now. A day before, that's a scam, right? Freaking abandoned, that's a scam. This was a scam too. Because this man came on stage 2 years ago talking about, oh yeah, the team is working on the game. Oh my God. Then we heard Bungie had to reevaluate the game, and then now it's like canceled. I'm pissed off, man. This is why I'm just like, Naughty Dog has decided to cancel development on The Last of Us Online after coming to a stark conclusion about where it would take the company's future if they were to continue. Yeah, but you want to continue to make remasters and remakes.
I mean, he has a point, right? I mean, this is a really based response. Jonathan, I don't think Sony... I mean, I think so. Not with DreamcastGuy. I think DreamcastGuy is just trying to get back to his former glory. MBG could be, potentially. I don't think they're hiring, but I do think they like send them gift packages and like supply drops every so often to keep them happy, to keep them going. Because I know companies do that. They send you like gift boxes with like some cool merch and stuff inside, just to keep you happy and going along. So I think that could be happening potentially, but like hiring them, nah. I wouldn't put it. I mean, it's not impossible, but I think MBG would be coping a lot harder right now. Now, Neil Druckerman has this habit where he will see something, and as it's developing, he will want to grow it. He'll have this idea that needs to be fleshed out, and before you know it, it's huge. And that's been one of his issues for a long time. And, you know, when it comes to the single player games, they work, even though they have to still rein it in a bit. Take it easy, Steve. Pretty much, Cesano. I mean, that's why, like, in all honesty, I think them releasing the Blade advert was stupid. Why would you release that trailer if there is going to be no platform listed or nothing? Release it nearer the time when you're actually ready to actually, you know, come out and say what platform it's going to be on. I don't agree with the Blade trailer. I think so too, Edward. I think so too. If they were being... Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't think they're being used by Sony, but I think Sony is keeping that pot sweet so they can continue doing what they're doing. if that makes sense. They're like, you know what? You're talking really good about us. Here's a nice gift. Keep doing it, kind of thing.
You know what? I'm done. I can't. I'm so freaking done. You so worried about what the future of what? I'm really worried about the future of the company because all y'all doing is making remakes and remasters. I'm just saying. All we've gotten from you this entire generation is remasters. Really? That's what you should be concerned about. Why? Why cancel this? Why? Why? Why?
And do you know what, chat? Do you know what? When the PS5 Pro comes out, you're going to get The Last of Us 2 remake. I'm calling it. You'll see. I am so calling it. That when the PS5 Pro drops, you're going to get a Last of Us 2 remake. I think I'll die from laughter if that happens. Look, the bottom line is Sony has gotten rid of a lot of stuff. And I guess they just can't afford to do it anymore. Because they downsized a tremendous amount. I mean, I do think that this game got the Starfield treatment. Did you hear about this guy, the completionist? They're removing his cameo from Sea of Thieves. Agreed, Edward. I owned all consoles and Xbox consoles along with all the Nintendo consoles as well. Sorry, I couldn't get all my own console list in last post. Yes, my friend, you're a ro. Yeah, every generation, like at the start of this generation, I bought the PS5, the Series X, and the Nintendo Switch as soon as I could find one because they sold out faster than the PS5s and the Series X's, at least where I live. But I tried to buy all three of them. The one thing I hate more than anything is walking into a shop and figuring out if a game that I like is on a platform that I have. So I know not everyone can do it, and I appreciate that. I save up for pretty much a whole year before the generation is coming. I put money aside every month to be able to do it. But I basically set aside money so I can buy all of them, so I don't have to ask myself, is this game on a console that I have? More like, what game do I want to buy? Kind of have another company on the mind at the moment. 45 million loan they took out. Staff is 400 plus. That's not enough funds on its own to cover operating costs. Yeah. But then you look at Bungie, which is like 500, what was it, 400 or 500 people working there, I think? Or was it 600? I don't know now. They got rid of a lot of people. But they're building Marathon, they're building Matter, they're building they're still continuing Destiny, and then there's the other game they're working on as well, right? So Bungie are working on like 3-4 different games at the moment. There's literally no reason why Naughty Dog couldn't do it. It's oh god, this guy. I don't know why people give him the night of day. Oh no, we've got another Unleashed on our hands. We've got another Unleashed wannabe. No diversification, no gas. I mean, in order to build live service games, it's hard. It's a lot of investment. There's a lot of groundwork. My guess is that Jim Ryan, for all the mastermind that he really underestimated just how cost heavy at the start these live service games are. I really think he man, that don't even look like Phil. Oh, that I want to read. What the fudge? Like, she totally threw herself in front of Spider-Man when Venom was there. You what, mate? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, cash flow is everything, right? Oh, what is this? That's like something out of Star Wars, man. Sony Payton aims to change difficulty in real time as you play. No, thank you. You can piss off. If I want to set my game to easy because I'm trash at games, then that's what I will do. But man, so many people are jumping on the bandwagon of this fake news. It's so weird to see, man. All right, folks, we are now at the part of the stream where if anyone wants to recommend something for me to react to, we can take one or two requests in before I call it a night, being Sunday. This was a unplanned stream, but it's awesome to have so many of you actually turn up. Being a really good stream. I think at one point we hit like 112 concurrent users. That's a record, folks. That's amazing. Seriously. That's amazing. Look, Seth. Look. I already said, because after moving the goalposts, you guys still hated me enough to buy it for me. If you guys really want, I will play for it to finish it. I am not 100%ing that game. Not without some serious incentive. Too many failed peripherals. Yeah, that was a big mistake by Sega. I mean, hey, look, we got the 32X. It didn't work. Okay. We got the Mega CD. It didn't work. Okay. We got the Master System add-on. Yeah, it didn't work. Okay. The Kong stream is on Tuesday. You feel like my heart is not in it? You know what would make it in it, Seth? You know what would make it in it? It is Tuesday, Susano. Wow, everyone is proper hinged on that Tuesday, man. You guys are evil. Man, you guys really want to see me have a mental breakdown? God, could you imagine like a subathon with Quantum Error and Gollum? Fuck, that is a nightmare. I shouldn't have said that. Edward, they actually paid for it for me. So I turned around and asked the chat, right, Edward, do you want me to... Does anyone here actually want to see me suffer playing through Kong? Around 60% said yes. So then I changed the goalpost to try and save some sanity by saying, I'm not buying the game. If you want me to play it, you need to buy it. And then someone gifted it to me. So now I don't really have a choice. That's the problem. But they also want me to play Quantum Error and Gollum. To which I said, you know, I wised up to that one. I said, if you want me to play it, I'll stream it through an Asus ROG. I don't have an Asus ROG, so I can't play it. Hell yeah. So I'm not saying that I won't do it. I'm just incapable of doing it because I don't have the hardware. And as I'm not going to buy an Asus ROG, I'm not saying no to you guys. I'm just saying it's something that I can't do. So I'm not looking to disappoint anyone. But what the heart wants, and unfortunately in this case, being incapable of delivering is one of those things. I know, Diablo. I know. Why do you think I did learn Diablo? That's why I set the requirements for this one on an impossible scale. That's why I learned. I just learned the hard way a little late. That's what a subathon is. Could do a subathon at some point, especially during the Christmas break. If you're playing Kong, I would suggest having a strong drinking. Don't scare me. I'm already having PTSD from it. God, some of these pictures look really nice. Microsoft is... I mean, are they buying Paramount or not? You know, I could do a Final Fantasy 14 stream. I'm sure some of you would like that, right? Because it is coming to Xbox next year. I've been talking about it for a while. That would be a lot better than Gollum, right? That would be a lot better than Gollum. Hell, it would be a lot better than, what is it? I forgot its name already. It'd be a lot better than Kong, right? I can show you dungeons and 24-man raids and stuff like that. Mate, Don Matrick ruined them entirely. I pre-ordered Starfield and haven't regretted it yet. I'm on the 8th playthrough right now. I'm really loving it. Dude, I really like Starfield. That's a good question, Cesane. That's a good question. You see, Torino wants me to play Final Fantasy 14 instead of Kong. All right, we're going to do something really dumb again. No, we're not. No, we're not. I've learnt my lesson. No, we're not. No, we're not. You're a quantum error. You're not getting out of a concert. What do you mean? But at least I've gotten out of Quantum Error and Gollum. I'll take my wins where I can get them. GoldenEye for me. I love the GoldenEye. Wait. Is this real? This How Long to Beat has been making a lot of statements lately that have been pandering on Series X hate quite a bit, and they've actually lied in a few posts as well that I've noticed. Don't do it, you know. Oh no, I'm not. Like I said, look, dude, I said only way I will play Quantum Error or hey Grim, thanks for the sub. Only way I'll play Quantum Error or Gollum is through an Asus ROG Ally, and I don't own one of them. I don't own one of those, so I think I'm pretty safe, right? I think I'm pretty safe. Loads, Goggle. Loads. I mean, it's just. I mean, even the Xbox One beating the Series X is a bit far-fetched. Considering Xbox One is probably playing the cloud games from the Series X, right? It's not like it's playing its own generation games. And how the hell is the PS2 above 360? Nope. I've done in way too many tutorials. I ain't even going to try and bullshit my way out of that one. I know there's certain tutorials that make it almost impossible for you to die. Yeah, I've achieved what some people think as impossible and made it possible. Hideo Kojima. Nobody really wants to see you battle a deflated Michelin man anyway. There we go. There's the defeated attitude I'm looking for. There is the defeated and out for the count attitude I'm looking for. The one that I've been striving to see all night. What have people told me? Oh, I got a new follow. So, not Xbox ray tracing, most powerful, 8K, 12 teraflop. So he's saying all of this is a lie, right? Starfield, game of the generation, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 2024. So I responded, let's see now. Ray tracing, Xbox has. Most powerful, spec-wise, this is true. 8K, both PS5 and Series X has this on the box. 12 teraflops is factual. True RDNA 2 is factual. Starfield game of the generation, still better than 0 out of 7, right? Even IGN snubbed Spider-Man 2. 2023 was Xbox's year. Easy. 2024, we'll see. I think I owned him pretty well there. Xbox is not going third party. Xbox going third party would hurt the gaming industry in so many different ways. It's not funny. it would be really, really bad. What's this? Late night tweet. I don't think you'll realize the Xbox Series S is a big deal. This is in 2020. 4040p at 120 FPS is where it's at. To be honest, I'll be shocked if we see next gen games at 1440p at 120 series. Prepare to be shocked. I've not been shocked yet. I'm still not shocked. Xbox marketing and PR are literally the worst I've ever seen. It's just so bad. But all this news about the Xbox Series X Pro or the Xbox Next, it's all speculation, right? There's literally nothing that's come out. I don't even know where the information's come out outside of, trust me bro leaks. Probably why I haven't made any videos on them, because those trust me bro leaks don't really interest me. Edward, I've been saying that for a while. A rare IP kart racer is what Microsoft could do with quite easily. Final Fantasy VIII. It's really weird why Microsoft will not allow this to be remastered or re-released. Microsoft has some kind of exclusivity on this, and they're not letting it go. They're pretty much holding it on. It's the only one that hasn't been looked at. You've got 1 to 6 that has been pixel remastered. You've got 7 remake, 8 remaster, 9 remake, 10 apparently is happening, and I suspect 10-2 will as well. 11 will never get a remake. It's an MMO. 12 has already been re-released. 13 is just not going to get it. Microsoft keeps saying no, apparently. Adidas 20 with a $5 super chat. I believe the Sony dominance is over. I think 2024 is going to be a very, very interesting year. If Microsoft play their cards right, I think 2024 could be the year where they actually recover a lot of market share. And if they do, and take that momentum into the following year, when it comes to the next generation console, if it lands in 2026, I can see the shift happening quite easily. But next year is going to be a pivotal point, because next year is where we're expecting a lot of the big games to drop. And we need to see like a bunch of games that are coming that are just going to just hit in every angle. Fable has to do good. Gears has to be spectacular. Avowed, Hellblade 2. These games need to deliver 9, 10 out of 10 experiences. Without a shadow of doubt. And if they can do that, you'll see the tide turn very, very quickly. Have you guys heard this guy? He's now giving Rockstar Games 2 days to sort their shit out. Or he's going to sue them for everything they're worth for 1-2 million. But Edward, momentum is half the battle. This is the time Microsoft has to deliver, is what I'm saying. Now that that momentum has slowed, Microsoft need to ramp up their momentum and push it hard. Goggle. I know you're trolling. Yep. I know, Susanna. I know. And this is why I'm saying now's the time for them to turn the tide. Scarlet Scarab. What up? Is it the bot taking that away, or is someone actually doing it, or are you taking your own text away? It's been debunked that guy is just chasing cloud. Which one? I think that's going to be, this is going to be interesting. Oh, right. It's just chasing clout. I mean, the best one for me from this, I don't care about Billions, NCIS, Yellowstone, South Park, SpongeBob. I'm a huge Trekkie fan. I think this could actually be good. But folks, since there's nothing to react to tonight, and this was a impromptu. Oh, the Joker guy. Right. Now I understand what you mean. There's actually another person named Joker in my tweets. That's all right, Scarlett. It's what? Just past midnight, so I think I'm gonna call it there. But thanks so much for hanging out tonight. This obviously wasn't a planned stream, but I decided, I had a new monitor. I've got the new monitor now that I'm testing, that I'm going to be reviewing, and I just wanted to test everything out with how it looked. It's actually a really nice screen. And part of the reason why I wanted to stream tonight was, well, there was some news that we can talk about, we can hang out, and obviously I wanted to just see how OBS handled on this screen, and I can honestly say it was like a super champ. So expect my review in the next few days for this. I'm going to set up a premiere for the monitor. So for those of you that are interested, definitely, even if you're not interested in the monitor, if you could just check out the video, that would be absolutely amazing, because obviously it helps me in getting future promotions and future opportunities. And it just shows to the client that, if they give me something to review, it'll get the engagement that they're looking for. But that's it. What's this? Hey, TheChaosLounge, if Nintendo was able to bring back a Sony IP, which IP do you think Nintendo is able to bring back? Slyjack, Killzone. I think Ape Escape would be the one. Ape Escape was amazing, and I think Nintendo could definitely make it big with that one. I think that's perfect for Nintendo. Right, folks, don't forget I released a video tonight just before I went live. Probably not the smartest thing, but I released a video with the Oculus Quest actually now has the native Game Pass app, so you can actually stream your games with your Xbox controller connected to Bluetooth to your headset. So you've basically got like a wireless VR headset that can run Game Pass. So if you haven't seen that video yet, definitely go check it out. It is it's interesting, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Right, folks, that's it. I will see you on Tuesday with some stuff. I might be drunk, but whatever can get me across the line, right? With that said, have a good night. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, and I'll see you next time. As always, remain legend, folks. Yippee!